So Warsim continues. We're on year 39, or we got 39 years remaining in our reign. We are buying all of the goblins as troops. We are the kingdom of vegetables. We achieved the throne by perfectly legitimately finding the crown, the legendary crown, halfway up a mountain in the middle of goddamn nowhere on a tiny small island, because it was a long story. And then, of course, rightfully took the kingdom away from the king, and yeah. What was the card game that was a king sim? Reigns. And then they made like 5 others. You mean the one that was Tinder but a king sim or queen sim? Reigns, I think. It's the game that you're thinking of. Where it's literally like swipe left, swipe right. This is not really like that. This is a little bit more in depth. But first thing that we're gonna do, I think, is let's just go to our throne room. There are 6 people waiting to see you. You enter your throne room. You take your place on the throne in the Kingdom of Greens, and you are told that there is currently 6 people waiting to see you. You're visited by a mad peasant who says, I am alive, but where did I come from? And where do I go? When I die, you would know. Oh, go, would you? Where do I go when I die? You would know, oh great royal god king. Tell me. You shall find out. No one knows such things. Or remove him from your court. Or to the dungeons. Chat, do we kill this man? Let's see how bloodthirsty chat be. That's the real important question. Come on, chat, I'm waiting for your very educated response. You vote for blood? Is our king going through a weird traversal where we go from being the no slaves, we shall free everything, let's be nice to everybody, into the you shall find out, die? The man looks as though he is about to cry. However, he is cut down by the guard before a single tear falls down his lifeless face. The king turned man. Maybe. Rumors of your cruelty spread. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by an unemployed herbalist who is followed by 7 young men. He claims he's just served... He claims just as he served it is time for his sons to serve in the army. He asks for 30 gold each for them to cover up the costs of extra work. And he'll have to do it without them to help. No? I'm not going to give you 210 gold for a bunch of not super great soldiers. You are visited by a man who identifies himself as a member of the Camp of Love, a hub of kindness located far in the west Songwood. He smiles and nods and greets you before offering some counsel. Smile, even if you don't feel like it. Force yourself. If you ever heard fake it till you make it, it is true. Your mind is tricked into thinking you're happier, and it makes it so. This sounds like 80% of just chatting on Twitch. His counsel is most unwelcome. He thanks you regardless for having the goodwill to not throw him in the dungeons and wishes you great fortune before parting off. Part off faster next time. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to show you the old clicking ways. I am not the worst musician. I shall play you a great and lengthy song. Please play me a great and lengthy song. +1 relation with the Musicians Guild. He wasn't joking about the lengthy bit. Chat, how was that? Was that a good tune? Should we ask him to play again? Rhinestone says it's his jam. We know that much. That was a great performance. Encore. That was a great performance. Let's request he play a game. I mean, we learned that the hard way with the it was a long story option. The clicker looks at you for a reaction. That was a great performance. Let him leave your court. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by a farmhand who wants to join your army because the wind whispered that he should. The farmhand grins, his face more joyful than you've seen. He pulls a small trumpet from his belt and plays a short tune before charging out of your court, ready to be armed. Send in the last visitor. You are visited by a herbalist who claims one of your soldiers threw rocks at his children and called them little trolls. Tell him he's a big baby and that he should leave. No one is waiting. Excellent. He was snapping his fingers, yay. Don't judge the music of his people. Let's go explore the realm. I'm going to continue exploring the southern lands. Oh, I've already done that this year. Cool. Hire mercenaries. Hire troops. There's no... Okay, there's no more goblins available to be purchased. Let's hire 2 soldiers. And then 1 more soldier. And let's go to diplomacy and look at bandit groups real quick. Bone Lords are new, and the Golden Troublemakers and the Strange Lemur Hog Raiders are all new. Let's look at the Bone Lords. You call forward your diplomat to discuss possible information surrounding a group called the Bone Lords and their leader. Ooh, they have 711 men, but they're only bandits, not a lot of warlords.
NANI?
Yeah, we don't have any more greens to hire. It's unfortunate. 14 grand for a bribe. All right. How about the Golden Troublemakers? These guys are much cheaper to bribe. Okay, these guys have 123 bandits and 4 warlords. And these Strange Lemur Hog Riders only have 94 men. Well, we're going to hit them. We will see you when we see you, Diamond. Have a good night. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday, because I'm taking tomorrow off. Let's end the year. Let's go after the number 6, the Strange Lemur Hog Riders. It's time to put this scum to justice. We're going to invade them. And I'm going to send half of my troops. And thank you, Rhinestone and Rags. The invasion was a success. You gained loot and glory. I lost way more soldiers than they did, but fortunately for us, they were mostly tribal goblins, which are very cheap. So we won by pure numbers. So I'll take it. Congratulations, my royal god king. The Strange Lemur Hog Riders have been crushed. A small group of their peasant prisoners have rallied and joined your cause. +1 public opinion, +50 peasants, -3 general bandit baddies. You receive word that a group of bandits from the bandit horde have deserted the horde and formed their own bandit gang. They call themselves the Eldrick. Cool. Well, there's less bandits in the main bandit horde now, which is nice, but there's now 255 more bandits running around in that bandit gang. That's not nice. Interesting. We got pillaged 468 gold, but that means my treasury still increased by a lot. The goblin celebration rages on and you pay a 1,000 gold fee. as per saying. Your alms for the poor helps many of the lowliest folk, and the people are pleased. Groups of bandits deserted the bandit horn, formed a new gang, yada yada. You receive word that Mehor are protecting the Montfort mine. Those are my friends, so that's okay. Caldor the Ambitious defeated Gale in the Flaccid Arena. The Gale the Flaccid? That's a title if I ever saw one. All right, moving on. 38 years remaining. And I hope you guys all enjoy this game. It's a bit of a change of pace from DF, but I like it because I think it's strange but fun in a weird way. And I know a bunch of people have jumped on this game since I started streaming it because it is cheap as chips. Like, quite literally. Like, when it's on sale, it's cheaper than a bag of chips. But generally, it's like, what, $6, $7? $9 CAD, so like, yeah, $7.99 US, I think. But basically, all I'm saying is like, maybe give this game a shot. It's pretty fucking neat. Pretty fucking neat. All right. So I do have a decent amount of money now, and still have most of my troops left. So I think I'm gonna go over here and go to higher units. Let's go to goblins that are available, and just hire all the green boys, all of them, because they cheap. All right, so we now have hired all of the green boys. The militia commander, Sarek Hawk, comes before you and offers up 87 of his men at 5 gold per head. You can afford 87 of them. You currently have 250 presents in your ranks. Okay, we now have a bunch more peasants. I could hire soldiers from the guilds. Let's do that. Let's do 50. 3,000 gold coins. There we go. That's all the money I'm spending on that. Let's jump over to the throne room. How many people do we have waiting? 14? Okay. Let's go explore the realm first. Let's go to the southern lands. The parched lands is an uncomfortably warm place. It is full of dry rock and hard sands. Little life survives, and there is a rumor of demonic worshippers here. No one knows the truth. We're actually going to head south. The oasis is one of the few places in the south that is prosperous and populated. The rest being the wastelands and the ruins. Some believe that there is some kind of magic at play that keeps it alive. Question is, whose magic? Okay, so we explored the 3 spots. Let's go to the demonic ruins. You approach some old, ancient southern ruins. There isn't much left of what once stood here, and it looks dissimilar to anything else in the region. And a demonic landmark. You approach what seems to be a demonic landmark of some sort. You cannot tell if it's a warning sign or some kind of signal. You even doubt it belonged to the demons. And thanks, Hobo. All right, well, that's all the exploring we can do. Let's check kingdom upgrades. I don't think there's anything I can do. Yeah, basically, I need 15k to be able to do the tax office. Let's go back to the throne room. Send in the next visitor. You're visited by an old man. He begins shouting at you. Your days are numbered, tyrant! This land has been shattered by the plague of your leadership long enough! Rude. Chat, what do we do? Kill him? Ignore him? Or to the dungeons with him? What do you think? What do we think? To the dungeons? I'm kind of leaning ignore him. Hey, Orange, what's up, dude? Hire him? That's not an option, unfortunately. Hire him as a local insult specialist? I mean, I can permit him to leave, I can kill him, or I can put him in prison. Are kind of my options. But seems like everybody chose to dungeons, so I'm going to put him in dungeon. Rumors of your cruelty spread. You're visited by a hiccuping drunk man who says, "Thanks for allowing us this wondrous celebration of..." Falls asleep in my court. I will have him taken to a nice room to sleep. You're visited by a hiccuping drunk one who says, thanks for allowing us this hick wondrous situation. Have him taken to a nice room to sleep. You're visited by a young man who, despite his needs to be set, who says a dispute needs to be settled. I met a girl in a tavern. We've been courting for a while, but a local thug took a liking to her. He beat me up and told me she was his now. She still wants to be with me, but I don't know what to do. I feel as though he will strike again. Have the thug compensate the young man and have him jailed if he does anything else. Fight him or move away. I can't help beyond that. To the dungeons with him. Let's have the thug compensate the man. Rumors of your wisdom spread. The man sighs and says, you know, when I've got myself quite nervous before coming in. You know, meeting the ruler of a kingdom as a lowly man as myself, but pleasantly, very kind and personable. Thank you. You're visited by a farmer who says a dispute needs to be settled. I took him. I'm not listening to your advice ever, Freskins. I took him in a wounded man. Wait, well, hold on. I took in a wounded man and helped bring him back to health. Now he tells me I owe him, which is absurd. Make the wounded man compensate the farmer for his help? What? A drunk man enters your court and declares he wishes to challenge you to a drinking contest. However, seconds later, he passed out. Have your guards wake him up and force him to drink every drink in the room. Have the drunk man woken off and to sleep. Oh, man, I want to see option 1 here. The man is awoken, still drunk, and your guards proceed to gather all the drinks in the room and force him to drink them all. He complies until he passes out, whereby they open his mouth and pour drinks down his throat until he chokes to death. Rumors of your cruelty spread. I mean, you know, chat, do me a favor. Don't just randomly type in numbers unless I ask for your input, because if you guys just type in numbers, I don't even know what you guys are asking for because it's generally delayed. So just like, if I'm going to give you guys an option to help me decide, I will pause and ask. I'm not going to do that on everyone. Otherwise, it'll take us 10,000 years to get through these. So just keep that in mind. You are visited by a man who enters the room flustered, with 3 boys to boot. There's no good little bastards having eating my food and wasting my time on my farm for too long. They're old enough to fight. No, I will not pay for your children. Go away. You're visited by a traveling jester who says, hello. If you could spare a moment, I'd like to tell you a joke. We'll listen to his joke. Why should you never ask a dwarf to pay for drinks? Because he's always a little short. Well, there's no gulag in this game. So what kind of question is that? That was a good joke. You are visited by a drunk man. By a group of drunk men singing unintelligible songs and swaying side by side. Very good. Now off with you. The drunks cheer and then stumble away singing. You're visited by a drunk man who stumbles into your room and begins singing. He is very drunk, and his singing is terrible, but he seems to be enjoying himself. Wonderful singing. You can leave now. He smiles and then stumbles away. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of murdering peasants. Ask the man to explain himself. No, please, I didn't do this. Ask the guard. Your guard informs you that the man is a very well-known criminal, and his guilt is known across the lands. Okay, chat, I'll let you guys pick this one. Do we execute him or let him go or release him? Or put him in dungeons or release him? The guard claims that he's a very well-known criminal. The guy says he didn't do it. There's a festival that happens every other year, so that's why there's an abnormal number of drunks. Why would he lie? I don't know. Why would he lie? That's a mighty good question. Everybody's saying to the dungeons. All right, to the dungeons. It is believed the man was guilty, +1 public opinion, +1 prisoner. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by a drunk man who bows before you and says, "Behold the royal god king. I am the ale master. Witness!" And then he clicks his fingers, and a meek goblin rolls a barrel of ale into your court, and the man lays out 10 goblets and fills them. There's only one obvious answer here. We tell the man to chug, right? I mean, chat, do you agree? Or do you disagree? I mean, obviously, we watch this man's show. Clearly, he's the ale master. The man chugs, but halfway through, he stops to grasp for air and declares he has failed before leaving. You have 2 people left. A drunk man, and also this is where we all say, shame, shame, shame. A drunk man enters your court and declares he wishes to challenge you to a drinking contest. However, seconds later, he passed out. I will have him taken to a room to sleep it off because I don't want to kill somebody else today and get more people more pissed off at me. One final visitor. You are visited by an armed man who says he is a lone mercenary and can be hired to join your military for 34 gold. Sure, that's actually a good deal for a soldier. And, yeah. So next, there isn't too much we can do in the way of kingdom upgrades. We have plenty of men and mercenary crews. We should jump over to diplomacy and check the bandit groups. Well, how big are these guys? They're pretty small from the looks of things. 256 bandits and then 1 warlord. What's their troop tree? Not great. Could probably go after those guys. But I really want to check the rebels. Because they have 3,500 soldiers. Those guys we can't fight yet. How about the bandit horde? Ooh. Bandit horde we can actually go after. We're going after the bandit horde, my friends. Because I keep hitting the smaller bandit tribes, which is like whittling down the bandit horde. This guy is like the... Fëanor originally began as a street thug, a boy who was often fighting. And when he grew up, he took it to a new level. Fighting became killing, and killing became nothing. Fëanor was a monster. A monster! One day he marched to a cabin of the man who led the biggest bandit gang in the region, and carved his eyes out and declared himself king of all outlaws. It wasn't long before his declaration became a reality. We're going to go after him. He's only got 317 total men. So we're going after the bandit horde. Going after the bandit horde. I need more information. The old Kroll says, "They have a fair bit of territory behind them, 8 lands we would need to capture before their capital. They have vast sums of gold in their vaults. Perhaps we should launch a raid and take it." Let's send in a raid. Let's send half of my troops. Oh, how good. I love a good raid. Everything is set up and awaiting your command, my king. Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for battle. That will soon take place. As you spot a small raiding camp, the enemy arrives and the battle begins. The raid was a success. 39 bandits were lost, and we lost 8. I have 416 men remaining. We got 2,854 gold from the bandits. Round of beers for all the soldiers who didn't die. Round of beers for all those who did. Gorin Pakner, my king. We are under attack from the Bone Lords. Do you want to see the battle? Or you can catch the results of the battle in the turn reports. I would like to watch the battle. Ugh. Well, we lost a skirmish. Fortunately, nothing of value was lost, just a bunch of goblins. You pay 900 gold in ales to the poor. The goblin celebration rages on, and you pay the 1,000 gold fee. You pay 102 gold in wages to your prisoners. Our treasury increased by 3,618. The king of Darkdale has died of unknown cause and has been replaced by Aron. The Golden Troublemakers have built an outpost in the black market. Amid rumors of terrifying monsters stalking around the lands, 243 more men joined the local militia force, and Calder the Ambitious defeated Sir Edis, the old hero in the little arena. We have over 9,000 gold, my friends. Good stuff. We should go recruit more soldiers, I think. Hire tribal goblins, all 14. There's only 14 available. That's disappointing. Hire peasants. 281. Power in numbers. And let's say 50 more soldiers. We have 5,000 gold in the treasury now. Excellent. Let's go explore the realm. Let's head to the south. Let's head to the west, actually. You find a wandering group of 8 masterless soldiers. Their leader steps forward and says he will join you for no less than 44 gold each. That's a good deal. I'll take them. You see an envoy to a foreign king whose banner you do not recognize. You approach them and explain that you are the ruler of this land and ask him for his business. He claims that he is passing through the realm in search of noble knights to fight for his cause. He will hire a single knight, if you so permit. We have none to sell, so I can't do that. And that's it for that area. So that's it for exploring. Still can't really afford much. Giant militia recruitment signs. I really want some income buildings, but in order to do that, I need more money. So what I think I'm going to do actually is let's go to change the laws of the land, taxes and subsidies. Social policies. Celebrations. I mean, my public opinions are low enough already. I don't think I need lower public opinions, so let's go to the throne room and wait for the 17 visitors. You are visited by a guildsman who claims one of your soldiers kicked him in the balls. Chat, what do we tell this man? To grow bigger nuts? Or do we pay him the money? This one I'm going to let you guys decide. Just curious where you fall for this one. To the dungeons with him. It's always chat. To the dungeons. Send him to the dungeons. Little do you know. You know I have to pay for those people in the dungeons, right? Are you trying to bankrupt me? What is the goal here, my friend? Cheers, Freskins. Refuse his request. Oh, for hell's sake. Are you serious? And then he storms out. Hey, Bob. It's going pretty good, I would say. How is Bob? Chat, how are we doing? Bob would love to know. 16 people await. You are visited by a farmer who says despite a dispute needs to be settled. My neighbor bought a lute and won't stop playing it. Oh, God. The ungodly hours of the night. I'm losing sleep. I was going to beat him up and break his lute, but I thought it's best to be more lawful about it. And came to you. Please help me. I mean... Trying to get me to go gamble on scorpions again? I'd have to go explore another side of the realm, though. Everybody, you guys want me to destroy his loot? The farmer bows to you with a grin on his face and then leaves. You are visited by a disgraced knight who wants to go on a quest for you in the Kingdom of Greens. Okay. He says, I shall head out immediately and will find honor and glory, questing in the name of carrot, potato, turnip, the 67th broccoli, pineapple, Sir Salad. Fuck, I totally forgot that that's the name of my king. Carrot, potato, turnip, the 67th broccoli, pineapple. That's Sir Salad. I put a comma in that the first time, which is what broke my save file, by the way. Anyway, line of 14 people. You are visited by a tavern goer who claims to have found a strange orb in a small ditch near his farm. The tavern goer wants the orb for himself. Offer to buy the orb. Seize the orb. I will offer to buy the orb. Tavern goer says, well, you rule the realm, and I'm a nobody. I'm not going to try and barter with you. You can keep it. Hands you the orb before leaving. The orb is yours, but you don't have an artifact hall. It is put into storage temporarily. +1 chaos orb. The fuck's a chaos orb? All right. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to show you the old clicking ways. I'm a beginner and I shall play you a song. We shall listen to his song. That was acceptable. He nods. Let him leave your court. Get out. You are visited by a young man who claims to be a knight. My royal god king, I wish to better the realm in the name of the kingdom of Greens, questing for you. Good luck, bud. +1 questing knight. You were visited by an armed man who says he will serve your army for a fee of 25 gold. That's actually a good price. +1 soldier, -25 gold. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of killing several peasants. Ask him to explain himself. I'd rather not answer that question, says the person. Ask the guard for a statement. He's guilty, my king. Trust my judge it. Execute this scum! The man does not flinch and is quickly killed on the spot. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to show you the old clicking ways of his people. Another one of these fuckers? Jesus. Let him leave your court. -1 with the musician's guild. You are visited by a farmer who wishes to complain. My royal god king, your army has goblins in it. This is not acceptable. Chat, what do we say to this, man? This one's up to you. Agree to do something, refuse to do anything. To the dungeons with him. How dare you question my military choices?
Uh-oh.
The peasant tries to cover his eyes with his hands, but is killed before they reach his head. Rumors of your cruelty spread. 7 people are here to see me. For some reason, the shady man arrives in your court and invites you to play a flip-a-coin game. Chat, heads or tails? He tells you it will cost you 10 coins per play. You can call heads or tails. The coin is flipped. If you are correct, you win double your bet. The man has 90 gold to bet with. We have 5,064 gold. Heads, +10 gold. Tails, -10 gold. Let's try heads again. +10 gold. Heads again, +10 gold. Heads again, -10 gold. Heads again, +10 gold. Heads. Heads. Head. I'm done playing. The shady man bows and leaves. 6 people left. You're visited by an unhappy peasant who calls you a royal god king could have been replaced by a half-dead monkey and without anybody noticing. This twit. Chat, I'll have you know, if this portion of the game seems like something you wouldn't want to do, I think it's very entertaining, but you can actually completely skip this by simply hiring a steward and they will just deal with all these people for you and throw half of them in prison and execute the other half. But I like doing this stuff myself. I think it's fun. You're visited by an unhappy peasant who calls you a royal god king who could be replaced by a half-dead monkey without anybody noticing. I think we remove this twat from the court. That's what I'm leaning. The shady man makes an angry sound and storms out of the room. 5 people remaining. You are visited by a traveling bard who says, I shall play a music on my vampiric lute. I am pretty good at this. I shall play you a little song. All right, vamps. I shall mute the background music and go. Same number of chords as a Green Day song. That was a great performance. Request him play again. The bard declines, stating he has played all he can. To the dungeons! No. I kind of want to have him as a member of staff. I want a vampire next to me. You already have... oh, right. Yeah, we already have a... never mind. Whoopsies. What? Oh. Apparently you can just exit out at any point. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of plotting a rebel attack against the Kingdom of Greens. Ask him to explain himself. Shame I did not succeed. The Kingdom of Greens shall fall! Ask the guard to explain himself. He is villainy and well known here, my king. Execute this scum! -1 rebel soldier. The man does not flinch and is quickly killed on the spot. A shady man arrives in your court. Chat, heads or tails? Not always heads. Tails? 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 All right, this guy's cheating. I'm done playing. You're visited by a man who claims to be from the black market. You must destroy the black market. Whoa. In the near north, Darkon the Pyromantic is the most evil man, and the black market is a place of darkness. Thank him for this information. The man smiles and says good, and then leaves. You're visited by a short guildsman who claims one of your soldiers kicked him in the balls. Reprimandations are due. Absolutely not. All right, let's go explore the realm. I think it's the eastern grasslands that the black market were. I mean, Americans have sued people for less. Orange. All right, we're going to attack the bandit horde, and I'm going to fucking invade them. And we're going to send everyone but my... send half of the troops. General Parkner says, it's about time we invaded. It's the only way we can truly eliminate a faction and take their lands and leave them with nothing. Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for battle. That will soon take place. You spot a small bandit fort that emerges from within, and the battle begins. The invasion was a success. You gained loot, land, and glory. We lost 17 men, and they lost 50. We have 500 nice men remaining, and you gain 1 land from the bandits. Should ask the guard's wife to apply lotion. Chat, can we get a round of beers for our soldiers' grand success? We pay gold to help the poor folk. The goblin celebration continues, and we pay gold for it. My treasury has increased by 8,820 gold, and the Kingdom of Greens won our grand invasion. Krut raided the lands of Eladric. The parade for the day of the pork cookies and noodle french fries celebrations goes ahead, and people are joyous. +5 opinion. The buyers and sellers of the soldiers and peasants and the knights has faded. Into an unexplainable magical explosion has led to the death of 3 of your soldiers. Ooh, Drekon, the pyromantic leader of the black market, has been assassinated and replaced by Lordrun the Kingkiller. Oh, you seem friendly. Lorhan the Kingkiller, alrighty. And Silas the Charming has defeated Kaldor the Ambitious in the Little Arena. Look at all that money. All right, let's go to kingdom upgrades. Money buildings. Advanced trade post, please. Ooh. Earn income from prisoners. I think I have more trade than prisoners, but I think we'll do that next. Your trade routes will be 50% more profitable. Good stuff. I actually don't know how much that's going to increase my monies by, but Let's hire units. There's 178 tribal goblins available. Excellent. How many would you like to hire? 178. More green boys. Shoutouts to my boys, the green boys. Man, I really need a goblin emote. Chat, I want to unlock more emotes, but it's so far away. I want a goblin emote so bad. Smork is about as good as we're going to get for a while, yeah. But I'm thinking just like the same style that Cooler drew the dwarfs, you know? But like, what if the dwarfs were goblins? I'd be goblin all your money. Yeah. Hire peasants from the local militia. We'll do that. 143. All of them. All right, so we now have 1,266 men, 2,111 gold. Let's back out. Let's go explore the realm. Let's go to the eastern grasslands and explore. And explore. Find some money. And that's it. Well, good thing we found my favorite place. The Scorpion Fighting Pit. No, I like puns. I wasn't disappointed by anything. I'm just tired. It's been a kind of long day. You pass by a small walled pit surrounded by drunk and angry Easterners. As you near the pit, you discover it is a scorpion fighting pit, with folk betting on the outcome of fights. The pit has 1,083 gold to be won. Let's bet on a scorpion. The entry fee is 25 gold. Which scorpion do you want to bet on? The Armored Oasis Scorpion or the Red Southern Scorpion? Chat, what do we bet on? The Armored Oasis or the Red Southern? What do you think? Although I'm not even remotely close to gobbling all of your money, so maybe I should make a goblin emote, and then you'd have to literally send me all of your money in order to dedicate yourself to that pun. It's pretty overwhelmingly won. All right. How much do we want to bet? Clearly. You place your bet of 666 gold on the Armored Oasis Scorpion. You stand to win 1,332 gold in the fight. The Armored Oasis Scorpion leaps forth and hits the Red Southern Scorpion for 1 damage. The Red Southern Scorpion hits the Armored Oasis Scorpion for 7. Damn, that thing hits hard. And then again for 4. The Armored Oasis Scorpion turns around, however, and hits the Red Southern Scorpion for 1 damage. For another 2. Gets in a third hit for 3. And then an extra hit with 1 damage. And then one final hit with 2 damage. It's almost down. That Red Scorpion is like falling over at this point. But it turns around and it hits it for 9 damage. Again for 4. Puts it down to 6. The Armored Oasis Scorpion needs to get like 1 more hit in. And it does. Hey, money. Let's bet on another scorpion fight. What do we think? You pay the entry fee of 25 gold coins and stand to watch a scorpion fight. The Eastern Scorpion or the Behemoth Parched Land Scorpion? Who do we bet on, Jet? Behemoth or the Eastern? Plain old boring Eastern Scorpy boy? Or Big Behemoth Parched Land Scorpion? I generally just bet on the one with the cooler sounding name. But they do have set stats. How much do you want to bet? 467 gold. You place your bet of 467 gold on the Parched Land Scorpion and stand to win 934 gold in the fight. The Eastern... Holy shit, that thing is big. The Eastern Scorpion leaps forth and hits Behemoth for 2 damage. Hits it for another damage. Another 3. Another... What the... Whoa, the Behemoth one-shots that Eastern baby by just stabbing it, and it insta-gibbed. Like, literally, I think he split it in half. 25 damage. Holy fuck. Alright. We get our money. And run away laughing. Bye, guys. See you, nerds. I want to buy the Scorpion Fighting Pit. That's been my goal for a while. That's all the exploring we can do for the day. That was not fair. No, it wasn't. But we won our money, so. I'm adjusting. The background sounds a little bit. All right, there we go. Sounds a bit better. Well, I guess we should. Man, public opinion went up a whole bunch. I guess giving money to the poor makes the public like you a little bit, eh? Well, I can't really afford any kingdom upgrades. We got plenty of men. I think we're just going to deal with our throne room. There's 17 people. We're going to deal with this. And then, who would have thought? Yeah, right? Giving money to the poor makes people happy. Weird. And then after we're done with this, then we'll attack the bandit horde again and continue. A drunk man enters your court, sobbing. It says, "My liege, it appears an old lady ale has gotten the better of me. I've soiled myself. Could you spare a change of clothes?" Sure, have a change of clothes. +1 public opinion. You are visited by a wise man who says he has some advice to share. Listen to the advice. "My strength stone is said to give strength to those who rub it 3 times. I hope it's not in your pants. It has been used by a desperate fighter and may believe it to work." That is, I don't understand what that means, so get out of my house. The next, you are visited by an armed man who says he will join you in the battlefield. Okay. +1 soldier. You are visited by a drunk man who bows before you and says, "Behold, O royal god king, I am the ale master." And then he clicks his fingers and a meek goblin delivers a bale of ale. Well, obviously we tell him to chug. The drunk man effortlessly drinks cup after cup, and applause come from the whole court. Can we get a round of beers for this man who drank a round of beers by himself? Send in the 13 visitors that are remaining. You are visited by an aerial halfling at arms from the aerial tyrants, carrying a message from Berlin Lam in the furlongs, and says that he will force his people to celebrate the day of pork cookies and noodle french fries in your honor, and skin anyone alive who doesn't participate. These are the flying halflings, and they're pretty mean and evil, but we were able to ally with them because their dumb king, his advisor, told him that if he allied with us, it means he has friends instead of having no friends, and so they agreed to ally with us purely on the fact that the king wanted friends, which is kind of adorable. We shall thank him. A drunk man comes in singing, "You can leave." You are visited by a wise man who says that he has some advice to share. Listen to the advice. "Beware the diplomacy of the kingdom that appears psychotic or mad. They are quick to break truces." That was very good. You may go now. You're visited by a hiccuping drunk man. "Great one. Thank you for allowing us this wonderful celebration." Take him to a nice room to sleep. Get out. You're visited by a drunk man who I wonder if I can remove drunks. Who looks confused and says, "This isn't the tavern. Oh, hello, my king." "Hi." The drunk man nervously smiles and then apologizes for the interruption before quickly leaving. You are visited by a very drunk man who says, "I've come to join your army." Okay. You are visited by a drunk man who begins to ramble about the day of pork cookies, noodles, and french fries before passing out on the floor. Have the man taken off to a room to sleep. You're visited by an educated gambler who claims one of your soldiers threw rocks at his children. Refused to give him money. You are visited by a happy centurion hunter from Mehor, carrying a message saying, "King Cletor, Cold Touch, wishes you a wonderful day of pork cookies and noodle french fries celebration." Obviously, we named our celebration after everybody. So every other year, Kajiro, we have a giant celebration in the wonderful land of greens, and this celebration includes public alcoholism. So everybody in the entire kingdom is drunk. So yes, of course, we're being visited by drunks. You were being visited by a happy centurion. Thank him. +1 relation with the other faction. A drunk man enters your court and appears to be hiccuping uncontrollably. I have a solution for hiccups. Off with his head. Maybe not. Have the man sit down and wait out the hiccups with a glass of water. A pair of drunk men enter your court and begin simultaneous tirades. They appear to be asking you to resolve a dispute they have. They can't tell what exactly it is, but it appears to involve a wizard's staff in the village of Smallhaven, a dead gnome, 200 gold, and a betrothed maiden. Oh boy. Of course I remember you from the other day. You're on day 10 of Long Death? Well, your child has done some things, so you'll get there eventually. Your child can walk now. Hello, Cade. Welcome back. A pair of drunk men enter your court and begin the simultaneous tirades. That's a hell of a thing. Stop this madness at once and make peace by order of the king. Clearly, the only way to settle this is to fight. Have the drunks removed from the court. Chat, I'm going to let you guys pick this one. Please don't choose dungeons. Which one do you guys think we should do? Ooh, we're leaning 2. All right, clearly the only way to settle this is with a fight. The men heed your suggestion and turn to fight each other. Howl Bazaar, the drunk man lands a light punch on the opponent. Wow, he's got a big HP advantage on the other guy. Cleather, the drunker, lands a hard punch on the opponent. He lands another hard punch on the opponent. Howlzar, the drunk, lands a punch on the opponent. Howlzar lands another punch, and another punch, a bone-shattering punch this time. Pushes him down. The Kether, the drunker, swings and misses. Another swing and a miss. A light punch from Kether. And Howl's Bazaar barely touches the opponent with a wide swing. Kether lands a bone-shattering punch on his opponent, pushing him down. Holy shit, that was a big hit. Howl Bazaar, the drunk, barely touches the opponent with a wide swing and takes a big punch to the gut, pushes his opponent down to the ground, and beats him. The fight is finally over. The winner of the fight is Howl Bazaar, the drunk. There's the drunk and then the drunker. And the drunker had less HP than the drunk. So I assume the amount of alcohol he drunked made him, less good at fighting the drunker. Who knew, right, Bob? Satisfied with the result of the fight, the winner bows to you and leaves. The body of the other man is tossed out of your court. Ooh. At least public opinion didn't go down because I made 2 drunk men fight. You remain in your throne room and there's 2 people waiting. A drunk man enters your court and prepares to speak. After a moment, his mouth opens and opened a sour look, builds up on his face, and he erupts into vomit from his mouth, catching it all in his hands, and then he walks out of your throne room holding it in. Ew. Another drunk man enters your court and does the exact same thing. I'm going to retire from managing the realm. No, I'm just kidding. The fuck? Is there anybody I can, recruit? There's no gubbins. Let's hire 20 soldiers. And let's end the current year. We're going to attack the bandit horde. We're going to invade them. Send half of my troops. I mean, wouldn't you want to visit your great, wonderful, and glorious, beautiful, absolutely amazing, wondrous, fantastic, glorious God King himself while drunk? I mean, I went and, got talked to by Scientologists once at the Church of Scientology when I was really drunk. So, I could think of dumber things you could do. The invasion was a wise tactic indeed. It will show them our true might. Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for battle. They had pretty nice losses. The invasion was a success. You gained loot, land, and glory! We gain 1 land. And we have 608 men remaining. Here, I'll give you a link, Vad. It's right there. This is Warsim, the Realm of Aslonia. It's a little game that was originally just like supposed to be a couple month-long project from what I can tell. It is a text-based kingdom manager. It got quite a bit of attention on itch when the developer posted the original demo, and it did well enough that he was like, well, might as well, like, you know, expand on it. So he did. And then eventually decided he wanted to sell it. And originally I want to say it was $3, but the price went up to $8.99 CAD, which I think is $7.99 US. But it's basically like what Crusader Kings but light. It's a big kingdom simulation with kind of a lot going on under the hood. And where's the actual number here? 94 million possible races? Yeah. It generates the way they look and like their desires and needs, and there's kind of there's gonna be a lot of repetition, but also there's enough going on under the hood that it remains very fresh, and it's it literally runs in one of these fucking windows. So it feels like a game that shouldn't be made in the current year, and it's super cheap and it's fun as heck. Also, I think I'm interviewing the developer tomorrow morning. So, not on stream, but there will be something on YouTube, probably Friday. I need to figure out exactly how that's going to work. Shmeezy, thanks for that resub. Cheers, man. 5 months. What up? Not much. You thought that I typed all this in real time? That's impressive. Typing simulator. Typing speed. All right. Well, I got 10 grand again. So, I think I'm going to go to Kingdom Upgrades. Trains 1 to 50 peasants to soldiers per turn. Heavy defense, palisades, mercenary rest hall, giant recruitment signs, council room, arena buildings. Let's just go to income buildings. This would actually give me a reason to put people in prison instead of just executing them, because then we can make money from prison labor. Anybody else have a Prime sub sitting around? Because that's almost a hype train. Vadtech, thank you very much for the 2nd month. Welcome back. It's good to have you around. Cheers. Thank you much. If anybody's got 100 bits lying around, that's hype train. Cheers, guys. Or that. Thank you very much for gifting a subscription, Orange. Cheers, man. Yeah, we're going to build the prison labor yard. Which means now we we need some prisoners. Let's go explore the realm. Let's go to the eastern grasslands. No knights to sell. Mystery slaver. Old sandstone ruins. I'm going to have the man arrested for slaving. You have the man arrested and taken away. His operation is disabled. The slaver's 200 gold is seized, and he cries as he is carried off. Ruins of the old mystery slaver. Time to send all those drunk men into slavery. Not all of them, but maybe some of them. Also, it's not slavery. It's prison labor. Totally different. You approach some old sandstone ruins. It is unclear what once stood here, be it a fortress, a town, or something else entirely. The only thing that is clear is that time swallowed it whole and left little behind. There is a small hut next to the ruins that seems to be occupied. Who are you? What are you? I am Warsim the All-Knowing. Many years ago, I began pursuit of information and sought to learn. All right, well, If we want to know anything about anything, we can go ask him. It's prison labor. Totally different. Shush, alien. But thanks, guys, for the little hype train there. Cheers, Orange, for gifting a sub. And you two for the resubs. I mean, aren't prisoners, like, I'm not arguing either way, but, like, aren't prisoners technically paid? But it's, like, $6, it's, like, dollars a day. I don't know too much about how the American prison system works, I'm not gonna lie. All right, well, I'm going to hire all of the goblins, all 19, and all of the peasants. And that's most of my money. So... depends on where you are homeless. Orange. And as somebody who was homeless, it depends on where you're homeless. We have 24 people waiting to see me. You are visited by a hedge knight who claims he has returned from his quest for you. And he says convinced he is convinced a lone mercenary to join the Kingdom of Greens as a soldier. So a questing knight that we sent out on his quest has returned with a soldier that he convinced to join us. Sure, he is now a knight. You're visited by a hedge knight who says he has returned from his quest and achieved nothing. Refuse him from joining. He growls and storms off. You are visited by a drunk man who says, "Hey, I was drinking, and I thought of a really funny joke. You want to hear it?" Obviously. A gnome became an arena champion. All records say that he dwarfed his competitors. Chat, thank you very much for the little mini hype train there. It's going to take a little more to push it over into level 2, but... cheers all the same for those of you who partook. That's actually kind of funny. That was a good joke. You're visited by a game master who invites you to play. Nah, thank you. I'm all good. You're visited by a famous herbalist who claims one of your soldiers broke his fence. And he seeks reparations for the broken fence, saying it was passed down his family through generation. How are you passing a fence down through generations? I'm gonna say no. Thank you very much for the hype train, chat. Your guards bring forward a man who's been accused of sleeping with skeletons. Like, fucking skeletons? Not much to fuck there. Or sleeping with them? I don't see any problem here. Either way, they're dead. Ask the man to explain himself. She was my wife and I miss her dearly. Okay, now that's weird. Release the man. Go home, you sad old weirdo. You are visited by a traveling bard. He asks to play a song on his goblin drums for a price of 98 gold. I am a beginner. I shall play you a song on my drums. Let him leave my court. I'm not giving him money. You are visited by a morbidly obese hunter who claims one of your soldiers chopped down his apple tree and made off with the contents. Refuse his request. -1 public opinion. You are visited by an aerial halfling who seeks to fight for you because you seem interesting. Sure, good luck. You are visited by a scarred guildsman who claims he came in possession of a basket full of magical fruit. He claims it can be fed to soldiers to make them stronger and asks for 50 gold for it. He calls it Blue Tree and claims it is from a magical farm. Sure, we'll take it. You are visited by a Western craftsman who claims one of your soldiers killed one of his chickens, and money is due. Okay, we'll give him 3 gold for the chicken. You are visited by a wise man who says that he has some advice for you for the price of 9 gold. To the dungeons with no. Go away. You're visited by a traveling bard who asks to play a song on his vampiric lute. Gladly. Oh, for 100 gold? Fuck that noise. A shady man arrives, and your court invites you to play a coin flip game. No, thank you. You are visited by a drunk man who says, I was drinking. I thought of a really funny joke. You want to hear? Of course I do. 2 dragons walk into a tavern. One says, it's hot in here. The other one says, shut your mouth. I actually, you know, I haven't seen the same joke twice, and there's actually kind of a lot of them, and they're all kind of okay. These guys need to reevaluate the price of their performances. They really do, yeah. They quite literally really do. That was a good joke. He says he really appreciates it. You are visited by a traveling jester who says, hello, I've been saving the best joke for you. Do you want to hear it? Yes. What do you call a knight who enjoys meat? Sirloin! Wah, wah. Where's audio when I need him? What do you think, chat? To the dungeons with him? No! Exactly, Alien Slayer. Exactly. That was an okay joke. You think it's 2? You guys think it's a 2? Didn't work in French. Fair enough. Yeah, that joke was terrible. He looks upset and leaves the court. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to play a song for the price of 450 gold. I'm going to ask him for his name. He reveals his name to be Dumblefuck. I am an expert musician. I really want to know what his music sounds like, but I don't have the money to pay him. You are visited by an unemployed guildsman who claims one of your soldiers threw rocks at his children and called them little trolls. They probably are little trolls. You are visited by a wise man who says he has some advice. Refuse his advice. You are visited by a wise man who says he has some advice to share. She refused some advice. You're visited by a traveling jester who says he can juggle for you, offering it for 25 gold. You know what? I want to see you juggle. He juggled. Ballin'. You may leave now. There we go. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of evading taxes. Ask him to explain himself. The guards have it in for me. Ask the guard for his statement. If I say he's guilty and he's not, are there any consequences? Release him. The man leaves your room. You're visited by a traveling bard. He asks to play a song for you on his lute. I'm a beginner. I shall play you a short song. Play away. That was, have him removed from the court. You are visited by a crazy man who says, the rotting must also have fates selected. To the dungeons with him. +1 prisoner. You suck. Yeah, pretty much. Have I explored the realm yet? Yes. So let's go to the Eastern Grasslands. Let's go to the Scorpion Fighting Pit and bet on a scorpion fight. All right, chat, what do we think? The white Duneland Scorpion or the questionable Scorpion? Oh, you bet, Trench Dog. One of my favorite comments about this game was from Dwarf Comic, who says that his favorite part about this game is that he can play it with one hand while holding his newborn baby in the other hand, which I think is kind of amazing and very, very cool. The 2 seems questionable at best. I don't know if I like the questionable possibilities of that. All right, you know what? Let's bet on the questionable Scorpion. Okay, chat? And I'm just going to bet 69 gold. Wow. The white Duneland Scorpion jumps forth and hits this questionable Scorpion for 1 damage. Maybe it's questionable because they were giving it steroids. It hits the white Duneland Scorpion for 3 damage. Hits it for 13 damage. Yeah, I think they were giving it steroids, which is why it was... it's actually like the doping Scorpion. The Scorpions fight for a while, but ultimately the questionable Scorpion is the victor of the fight. You are informed that your chosen Scorpion has emerged victorious and you've won 138 gold on your bet. That's more than the 69 that you bet. Nice. Let's bet on a Scorpion fight. Black Deep South Scorpion, chat, or Red Parched Lands Scorpion? What do we think? As our official? No, unfortunately. I can sponsor fighters in the arena, though. I can buy the Scorpion fighting pit, which is one of my goals. They seem evenly matched. I think I'm going to go for 2. And obviously, we're going to bet 420 gold. Oh, I see. 2, 3, 9 gold. That's all that I had. Oh. The Red Parched Land Scorpion leaps forth and hits the Black Deep South Scorpion for 5 damage. The Black Deep South Scorpion seems to be losing, but gets 2 hits in. Okay, the Black Deep South Scorpion leaps forth and hits the Red Parched Land Scorpion for 10 damage. And it's dead. And I lost my bet. I wonder if we could win against them in a fight. Oh, well. I got no money left, so let's end the year. We're going to attack the Bandit Horde, and I'm going to invade them. I'm going to send half of my troops. Would you like to use the blue tree fruit in this battle? The fruit is said to contain... The fruit is said to contain magic that gives the warrior a great boost in strength during battle. Sure. Plus 50 battle score. Good. Invading will bring us land and glory. We are awaiting your command, my king. Jack, can we get a round of beers for those about to go to war? Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for the battle. That will soon take place. You spot a large bandit fort, and the enemy emerges from within, and the battle begins. Your invasion was a success! You gained loot, land, and glory! We lost 89. They lost all of their dudes. We have 651 men remaining. We gained 1 land from the bandits. My king, rebels have launched an assault. Would you like to see the battle? Absolutely. We lost a bunch of goblins in the assault where they attacked us. But my treasure increased by a decent amount of gold. I think we need to cancel our annual celebration, I think, chat. I think that we need to do that because that thing's expensive. Maybe make it less frequent. We won't need to deal with as many drunk peoples. Good to hear, Warm Shadow. If you weren't, I'd be upset.
Still alive over here. Lol.
I mean, goblins are very good at fighting. Okay? Goblins are very good at fighting. I'm glad that you're still alive, Warm Shadow. And thank you very much for the 5th month with that Prime subscription. Thank you very much for helping me pay bills over here. Cheers. Jack, can we get another round of beers for the Prime sub? I know that we just kind of did that, but can we do that again? I realize it's a lot of beer, and we're gonna look like half the drunk people in my kingdom, but like, let's keep that train rolling just for a couple minutes. I kind of wish I could invade people midway through here. You know, we're gonna go explore the realm. Let's attack the black market. You approach the black market gates, and you are barred from entering. A guard steps forward and says, Mr. Carrot, Sir Carrot, Potato Chip, the 67th Broccoli Pineapple, Sir Salad. By the orders, Sir Lahorn, the King Killer, ruler of the black market, you are not allowed in here under any circumstances. We shall attack. Let's send half of my troops. What's up, Samzors? Those things. Yeah. Of course I would like to use the blue tree fruit. You can use 5 in this battle. We're going to use all 5. General Goran Pakner says, a skirmish can be a good way to thin out the enemy's numbers and ready for an invasion. Real good plan. Oh my god. Skirmish was a failure and your men were slain. The enemy has 1,113 men remaining. Well, we can finish that next time. You overhear 2 men arguing over the brawl pit, or a fighter's pit, or better soon. They turn training billows. Break it up by the orders of the Royal God King. Watch the fight. Sir Clodic the Cross and Mulak the One Arm. This seems like an unfair fight if one has 1 arm. Slap, 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 slap. Would you look at that? Ask the winning fighter to be one of your champions. Sure. 142 gold. Sure, why not? I might need a champion at some point. Well, that's all the exploring we can do here, and we'll come back and attack the black market again once I actually have an army. Because currently I don't. We're going to recruit some more troops. Let's see what we got. Hire peasants. All of them. Okay. Hire green boys. All of them. Oh, what? Oh, 109. I misread. All of them. Let's also hire some more soldiers. 50. That's what I'm talking about. And then next year, we can attack them. We'll skirmish with the bandit horde with half my soldiers, and then we can like all out invade the baddies after I repopulate my military again. I mean, that should do it, I would think, because I want to take over that black market. Visit the throne room. You enter the throne room and take your place on the throne of the Kingdom of Greens, and you are told that there is a line of 28 people. 28! Bet you that like 80 of them are drunk. 80% of them are drunk. So far, so good. You are visited by a drunk man who bows and almost falls over and then says, "You savor." You're welcome. The drunk man smiles, nods, and stumbles away. You're visited by a drunk man who begins to ramble about the celebrations, and then have the drunk man taken off. A drunk man enters your court sobbing, "My liege, It appears old lady Ale has gotten the better of me. Give him a new set of clothes. You're visited by a drunk man who bows and almost falls over and says thank you. You're welcome. You are visited by a hiccuping man. Great one. Thank you for allowing us this wondrous celebration. You're welcome. You're visited by a drunk man who looks around confused and says, is this the tavern? Say hi. You're visited by a dirty townsman who claims that one of your soldiers threatened to burn his village down. Tell him to sod off. You're visited by, your guards bring forward a man who is accused of trying to spread the message of rebellion. Ask him to explain himself. He says, I hate the rebels. I didn't do it. Ask the guard for his statement. Well, I have no idea. I just assumed he was guilty. Release the man. We learned that he was not a rebel later. You are visited by an armed bandit who says he will fight for a fee of 25 gold. Okay. +1 bandit. A drunk man enters your court, begins to speak, and then vomits. You are visited by a goblin who looks silently and hands you a gold coin. I take the gold coin. You take the coin from the goblin, who grins and runs away. Soon you realize the coin is in fact a molded piece of animal dung. A drunk man enters your court and, seemingly oblivious to the presence of yourself in the court, begins to urinate on the walls, putting his hands on his hips for good measure. After a good 2 minutes of urination, he looks up to see your whole court and smiles and shouts, happy celebrations. Order the pee to be cleaned. Some servants get to work cleaning up the pee. You remain on your throne, and there's 16 people waiting to visit me. You're visited by a happy centurion hunter from Mehor, carrying a message saying the King Urhim wishes you a wonderful celebration. Thank him. Your drunk man enters your court, seemingly oblivious to the presence of yourself in your court, and begins to urinate on one of the walls. I guess we'll order the pee clean too. You were visited by a drunk man who looks around confused. We say hi to him. A drunk man enters your court, sobbing. My liege, it appears old lady Ale got the better of me. Give him a new set of clothes. You have the man in wash, +1 public opinion. You are visited by a drunk man who has come to thank you for creating the celebration of pork cookies and noodle french fries. We tell him he's welcome. You are visited by a traveler who wishes to do his part in the country and fight. Allow him to join the military. You are visited by a farmer who says, despite his needs to be settled, my neighbor, he has a dispute that needs to be settled. My neighbor killed one of my chickens while practicing archery. He won't pay for it because it was an accident. Chat, do we make him pay for the chicken? What do we think? Yes or two? 1 or 2? I'm not putting this man in the dungeons, so if you suggest that, it's a waste of a comment as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can say 3, but I will just take it as a non-answer. Because if I give you guys the options, you'll say off with his head or throw him in prison, regardless of what the options are. Like, it literally doesn't matter what the options are. You guys will be like, put him in prison, set him on fire, feed him to the dogs. Make the neighbor pay for the chicken. Farmer says, excellent, then leaves the court. 9 people remaining. You are visited by a happy centurion hunter from Mehor, carrying a message from the King Urhim, the deserter. And he wishes you a wonderful day of the pork cookies and noodle french fries. Pyrus the necromancer. We should thank him. They have necromancers? A drunk man enters your court, sobbing. It says, my liege, old lady Ale has soiled me. Give him a new set of clothing. You're visited by a funny-looking apprentice who is followed by 5 young men. Claims that he has served his time and his sons need to serve in the army. He asks for 30 gold for each of them to cover the costs of extra work. And he'll have to do without them around to help. Refuse the offer. You are visited by a beggar who claims one of your soldiers threatened to burn his village down. Tell him to go away. You're visited by a hiccuping man. Give him a cup of water. You're visited by a drunk man who has an obnoxiously large cup made of wood, filled with mead. He says he will drink the entire cup in your honor. Chug! He chugs away, takes a while, and you can see some contemplation in his eyes, but eventually he finishes the cup, and the court applauds him. You're visited by a drunk man who bows before you and says, behold, O royal god king, I am the ale master. Chug! He finishes, but immediately collapses dead. The court applauds, and the body is removed. You are visited by a hedge knight who says, "My royal god king, I wish to traverse the realm doing good deeds in your name." Okay, go ahead. You're visited by a drunk man who begins to ramble about the celebrations. Have him removed from your court. He throws up on the steps. All right, well, I think that's it for this year. We're going to attack the bandit horde. We're going to skirmish. Actually, no, we're going to raid them. And send half of my troops. Just try and get money from them. Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory. Check, we get a round of beers for the soldiers about to fight. The bandit horde's territory. Or any, like, good fighting or / war emotes. The hype train emotes are great for that stuff. And they prepare for the battle that will soon take place. As you spot a small bandit fort, the enemy emerges from within. The battle begins. The raid is a success. Your men grab all the loot they can. Bandits' loss is 106. Your loss is significantly higher, but it's fine. We had more to begin with. We loot 4,526 gold from the bandits. King, rebels have launched an assault against... Rebels have launched an assault. Do you want to see the battle? Yes, I want to see the battle. They lost 2, we lost 73. Damn. Why is there a griffin on a skateboard? And why is it just a griffin's head on a skateboard? Another battle. Our defenders were crushed and our lands were captured. Man. Our treasury has increased by a lot of money. Yeah, so the number of bandits grow each year if I'm not dealing with them, basically. But I got a good amount of money. Although I can hire more units. There's no goblin slavers around. Oh no. Well, I'll hire peasants. 66. Soldiers. 188. It's all of the money. All right. We're going to go back to explore the realm. Let's go to the southern grasslands. Nope. We're going to go to the western lands. Nope. We're going to go to the northern lands. There we go. The black market. We're going to invade the black market. Good morning, Stone. Hope you slept well. Attack the black market. Send all of my dudes. The skirmish was a success, and your men bask in glory. I don't think that's enough to actually take over it. Your men have defeated the garrison of the black market, thus ending the bandits' rule and leaving the place to your whim. Your men hoist up a flag of the Kingdom of Greens to make your rule official. Now, return to the market and decide how you will deal with it, or you could leave it in uncertainty. The black market belongs to the Kingdom of Greens now. Your men hold it in your name. While they await your orders for business, business has almost entirely halted. Some flee the market, while others rest anxiously and await your judgment. So we could shut it down, sack it, loot it, and destroy it. Or put a trade levy on the market, take control of it, and impose a yearly tax. Or we could ask our diplomat for advice. Chat, I'm going to ask my diplomat for advice. So chat, what should we do? Should we put a trade levy on the market, take control of it, and impose a yearly tax? It is evil. There's bad things that are sold here. We could close it, shut it down, or sack it and shut it down. So violently shut it down and take all the stuff for quick gains or long-term gains. Also, I just want to say a real quick thank you to everybody who's taken part in this. You guys make this game a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys enjoy the ramblings too. Put a trade levy on the black market, you'll say. Some people are actually asking me. Here, let's ask the old Kroll. I couldn't advise one way or another. Your opinions are money now or money later. All right, put a trade levy on the market. You say the word and the mark is completely under your control now. Give a speech to the population of the market. Tour the black market. Station soldiers here. Let's give a speech. Now that you've taken over the market, you may wish to give a speech to its inhabitants to let them know your intentions. You can give the speech yourself or hire a crier to do it for you. Give the speech yourselves. Kind speech. Chat, do we give them a kind speech, a threatening speech, an ominous speech, or a cruel speech? This one I want to know. What do you guys think? Ominous? It's just like immediately going into ominous? What do you guys think, chat? Keep them shitting their pants in fear. A few people saying it seems to be ominous. Ominous seems to be kind of the heaviest, I think. All right, we're gonna go with ominous. The ominous speech. Many of the crowd are confused. Some think you are a fool. -2 public opinion. You stand and give a speech ominously, talking about the market as though it lies within the jaws of a sleeping dragon. You talk of great wealth and great poverty, and mention many cryptic things. I mean, I'd say it's fitting, personally. Worth it? Yeah. Let's tour the black market. You arrange for a tour of the black market, and a local guide bows to you and agrees to show you the main districts of the market. He gestures, you follow him, and heads for the slums. You arrive in the slums. This place is a place of poverty and struggle, and very little more. You follow through a district facing the sea, filled with strange ships and even stranger people. We enter the dock row, the port of the black market, and even once home to a tavern until a pirate brawl saw an end to it. There are some business of repute here, of strange sailor from far away. You are then taken to a place called Guild Row, the fanciest district here, filled with guilds and halls. Suppose a place that a royal god king like yourself would find much to do in. Oh, and we keep the treasury here. You are then taken to a district built around a large fighting pit. Who doesn't have an appetite for a little bit of violent entertainment? There is little to do here, but drink and watch men fight, sometimes to death. A great place. Finally, you move to the central district. Welcome to the heart of the market. Even I have a small office here, in which you can visit if you want a more comprehensive tour of the place. Here, the market's headquarters, as well as a very large cluster of market stalls. The guide bows and says, "So that is the quick tour of all the districts. Best of luck with your new black market. Do us proud." Let's station some soldiers here. You have no garrison in the black market currently. Leaving it empty will mean that other bandit groups could capture it with no resistance. It is recommended to have at least 100 men in the market. You can add soldiers later to the garrison by going to the black market central district and then choosing it. You have no soldiers to add to the garrison. What? I guess go to the central district. There's no bandits available for hire. Is it 14? Manage the garrison. There we go. Have no soldiers to garrison. Do I need to upgrade it? I'm confused. Visit the gallows. Well, I need to station some soldiers here. I do have 452 men. Well, I mean, I don't think hitting X is going to do anything. Why are goblins banned? Good question. There seems to be a lot of like goblin racism going on in this game, which is kind of neat and fun to deal with. I'm going to try hiring I'll bet you it's because I have no money. But I'm worried. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm worried that the literal second I try and do anything, this place is going to get captured. So why is it not letting me... We get 13 bandits. 2 peasants and 14 bandits. Huh, a bunch of people join me. Cool. Let's see if I can station them here. I've never played Warcraft, so I couldn't tell you. And they don't seem to be that bad. They just seem to be kind of like uneducated tribals. This kind of seems to be what they're like. I'm going to revoke the black market goblin ban. There we go. Oh, maybe that's why I can't. Because there's so many goblins in my military. Maybe that's why I can't. You have no soldiers to add to the garrison. You currently have no troops stationed at the black market. If you wish to add or remove troops from the garrison, you may do so freely. But I have 410 soldiers. Why can't I add them to the garrison? I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't know what I'm missing. I'm clearly missing something. I wonder, maybe it's... Nope. It's not that. Slave training pen. It's a pen for trading slaves. Yeah, I don't know. 23 people want to see me. We're visited by a farmer who says a dispute needs to be settled. My son found a bag of gold floating down the stream. Give him the gold. He found it. We're visited by an armed man who says he wishes to enlist in the mighty army. Sure. We're visited by a jester who says, "Hello, King. I came to read you a joke behalf of my father who's too sick to come and says, Royal God King, I should be made to laugh from time to time. Southerners are all demon worshippers. Not much else to do down there in the south than to make sand castles." What? That was a terrible joke. You are visited by an insane traveler who asks to join your army, as his farmland was ruined by goblins. Sure. Little do you know, it's mostly goblins. A shady man arrives in your court and invites you to play a coin flip game. No, thank you. You are visited by an old knight who says, "My royal god king, I seek a quest." Go quest then. You're visited by an angry village idiot who wants to join your army because an old seer told him to do it. You are visited by an old herbalist who says it is his duty of the realm to join the ranks of the Kingdom of Greens. Okay. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to play a song for you on his elven lute. "I am a beginner, but I shall play you song." Huh. Shameful. You're visited by a local seer who says he can help you with your exploration discovery for a fee. 50 gold? I don't have enough money, so refuse to have the seer give you services. You're visited by a traveling jester who says, hello, I've been saving my best joke for you. Will you hear it? Okay. What's funnier than a pile of dead orcs? 2 piles of dead orcs. Eh? 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 Anybody? Cricket sounds. That joke was so bad. To the dungeons with him. Rumors of your cruelty spread. A cloaked man arrives in your court and claims to be a changeling. He says for a gold coin, he can change his face. What do you think, chat? Do we give him the gold coin? Or nah? We give him the gold coin. You hand the changeling a coin, he pockets it, and covers his face with his hands. Moments later, with a swift movement of his hands, his face has changed completely. Ask him how he is able to change his face. It's a secret of the changeling. It's closely guarded. The answers lie to the east. Huh. You may leave. He nods and leaves. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of burning a farm down. Ask him to explain himself. It wasn't me, he says. Ask the guard for his statement. I have my doubts, but who's to say? Release the man. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of funding the rebels. Ask him to explain himself. I hate the rebels. I didn't do it. Ask the guard for his statement. I didn't really see anything myself. Let the person go. Rumors of your kindness spread. You are visited by an old knight. My royal king. I wish to venture into the unknown, carrying the banner of the Kingdom of Greens. Allow him to do it. Good luck, bud. You're visited by a young hedge knight who says, I wish to venture into the unknown, carrying the banner of the... Another quest knight. You're visited by an armed man who says he is the lone mercenary and can be hired to join your group for 11 gold. Well, if only I had 11 gold. You're visited by an aerial halfling who wants to join your fight because you seem interesting. Okay. You're visited by a traveling bard and he asks to show you the singing ways of the old Orcish. I am an expert musician and shall play you a lengthy song. Ooh, I'm excited. The grunter nods and prepares to play for you. This shit's my jam. That was a great performance. He bows and nods and says thank you. Request him play again. I have 50 gold coins to get him play again. Let him leave. You were visited by an angry ogre who says one of your men stole gold from me. 300 gold, and I want it back. It wasn't me. An ogre scratches his head and says, oh, maybe a different kingdom. There are a lot, so confuse me sometime. Goodbye, before leaving court. You were visited by an unemployed bard who claims that your soldiers threatened to burn his village down. No. You were visited by a well-known knight who says, my royal guard king, I wish to traverse the realm in doing deeds for such in your name. Okay. And final visitor, you're visited by a mad person who shouts. You aren't even you. You are someone else. It's true, isn't it? And points a finger at you. I am me. You are dead. I know who I am. Begone. To the dungeons with him. +1 prisoner. Excellent. I think we shall end the current year. Your head diplomat approaches you. My royal god king, I still have an unresolved matter. You've yet to finish exploration. Oh, shit. Let's go the eastern grasslands. Fort Gorthmak of the orcs. You were hit by a harsh desert wind. You cover your face for a moment, and your body is brushed by tens of thousands of grains of sands. After a few seconds it stops. The fair desert returns to a calm state. A few new dunes now lining its visage. And one more chance, an ancient rubble. Let's go to Fort Gorthmek first. 685 orc scarce in here. Ooh. Well, I certainly don't have enough gold to buy the fort, but I think we should go after this fort, shouldn't we? We should watch an orc brawl, though. You look to a crowd of orcs and quickly notice a pair of them engaged in a brutal fight. Butal the Stumbler swings but misses. Korez the Elder barely touches the opponent. Korez lands a few punches, a flurry of punches. Brutal touches the opponent with a wide swing, whereas Korez the Elder barely touches him with a little short swing. Another wide swing doesn't do much. Little effect. Even less effect. He misses, for fuck's sake. Korez the Elder misses, and then Batul the Stumbler. Lands a bone-shattering punch on the opponent. Korez the Elder lands a light punch on the opponent. Batul the Stumbler swings but misses the opponent. Korez the Elder lands a bone-shattering punch on the opponent. Chad, who do you think wins? Batul the Stumbler or Korez the Elder? Who do you think Scott's it, chat? I could do a prediction, but it would take too long. You guys think Elder? All right. Everybody seems to be betting on the Elder. And Korez the Elder is the winner. Yeah, we're going to have to come back here next year. We will attack the bandit horde, but just a skirmish, quick battle. And I will send half of my troops. You knows it! That's good. Skirmish can be a good way to thin the enemy's numbers. Ready for an invasion. Your men arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for battle. That will soon take place. A large bandit fort. Enemy emerges from within. Ooh. Your skirmish was a success. Your men bask in glory. We did lose more than they did, but all of my peasants just outnumbered their warlords, clearly. So, one of their bandits are worth a hell of a lot more than 10 of our peasants. Good fight, men. The rebels have marched on us. What do you want? We will watch the battle. But we lost the battle against the rebels. Word reaches you that a group of bandits has marched on the black market and captured it with no resistance. Well, the market is now ruled by Teicher the Necromantic, who led the attack force. There is a great thunder in the sky. For a moment, the skies go dark. But when the clouds part, land is brighter than before. Interesting. New goblin slayer, known as Arthfail, has set up shop in the Kingdom of Greens. The parade for the day of cookies and pork fries and lunch is canceled. Oh no, due to issues paying for it. Well, that sucks. Seems like we're going to need to reclaim our rightful place as proper owners of the bandit fort. Except this time I think I'm gonna just fucking sack it. Fuck it, we're gonna attack the black market. There's only 125 of them there? Alright, I got 6,000 gold. Recruit some soldiers. Hire all of the 108 peasants. There's only 3 goblins available, but I'll hire them. And hire soldiers. And we're going to explore the realm, go to the northern lands, go to the black market, and attack the black market. Send all of my troops. We won. We slaughtered all of them. And This time, I'm just going to sack the black market. +1 Chaos Orb and a buttload of money. Get wrecked. Your men find various chests around the city. And they're looting and sacking. They bring them to you. There are 5 chests in total. You open the first crate to find an iron spike knuckled gauntlet inside. It's worth 10 gold coins. The second crate, you find a fragment of the ancient talisman inside. It's worth 15 gold coins. The third crate, you open to find a demonic drum inside. It's worth 130 gold coins. And the fourth crate, you find an unbreakable bone arrow inside. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It's worth 140 gold coins. The fifth one, a small scroll with a crude sketch of a tree inside. It's worth 6 gold coins. The black market is a bustling place full of wonder and mystery once before. Now little more than burned to ruin. Let's go to the Slaver's Fort. Yeah, never mind. There's too many slaves there. We'll shut down the Slaver's Fort next, I think. All right, well, I got lots of money now. So they ain't taking over that again. Kingdom upgrades time. Income buildings, obviously. Well, what could I do in productivity buildings? Shrine of Harvest, iron sides and pitchforks, better mining tools. I don't have a mine. Oh, I could buy the Scorpion Pit. You are totally right. Shit, why didn't I think of that sooner? Buy the Scorpion Fighting Pit. Totally a good use of my money. We now own our favorite place. Excellent. You roll up a flag in the Kingdom of Greens, and this place is now fully under your control. Excellent. You now own this pit and will receive from 100 to 1,099 gold per year. I don't think I have enough prisoners for that actually to be worth it. But that is pretty cheap, so. Basic whips for guards, 3,000 plus 50% income from prisoners. Yeah, sure, why not? It's cheap. Yes, we now own let's 150 gold to give the slaver, the goblin slaver, a guard. Let's do wooden climbing picks for climbing walls is better. 1 in 10, 20 chance of recruiting a knight each turn. That's actually not bad. It's pretty cheap. Yeah, I need to see how many I'm kind of curious about how many prisoners I have. I should check. I think it's visit other buildings. Visit the prison. How many prisoners do I have? 198 prisoners. Order 2 prisoners to fight for their death. The labor yard is filled with prisoners working hard, mining rocks and other menial labor tasks. This is how they pay us back for their crimes. Has a capacity of 1,000 total inmates. Close the prison. Declare this max execution law. Keeps population low. Allow overzealous arrests. I like that. Allow overzealous arrests. All right. Well, there we go. Let's hire 10 dudes. All right. Let's go here. 28 people. Oh boy. Let's tell my guards I'm no longer seeing prisoners. There's no one here waiting for you. And end the year. Oh, I haven't finished exploring. Whoops. I mean, obviously, we found a knight on the road. That's all the exploring. Let's go to the grasslands, and let's go to our new scorpion pit. The gates slide open, and 2 scorpions emerge, their pincers snapping and stabbing. The dryland scorpion leaps forth and hits the deep south scorpion for 4 damage. The deep south scorpion leaps forth and hits the white dryland scorpion for 7 damage. The white dryland scorpion leaps forth and hits the deep south scorpion for 3 damage. I kind of wish that the arena fights were this cool, because the arena fights just print out and immediately tell you the result. There's less of this, like, excitement. And I really like this stuff. I mean, we just get to watch the fights. Unfortunately, it doesn't print money. Oh, also, Hobo, since you're here, what do you think of Metronomicon? I am be curious. The scorpions fight for a while, but ultimately, the white dryland scorpion is the victor. Good stuff. Why would I destroy it? Because I totally have that as an option. Let's end the current year. We're going to attack the bandit horde. We'll just skirmish. Send half of my troops. A skirmish is a good way to weaken the enemy. You arrive at the bandit horde's territory and prepare for battle. Not bad. Your men bask in glory. Haven't had time to play it again. Good stuff. We are under attack from bandits. Do you want to see the battle? Yes. Ooh. Alright, well. We lost a bunch to the bandit hordes. And lost we lost 2 land today. I was up to 9 land. Public opinion has gone way up. But we're doing okay. I think it's time for us to save this game. It was year 31. The kingdom. Let's just go green, boys. Year 31. There we go. Hello. That's my face. How we all doing this evening, chat? I think I'm here to call it. I've been streaming for 8 hours and 40 minutes. I woke up today exhausted, so I'm impressed I was able to kind of make it this far. Tomorrow, I will not be streaming because I have a doctor's appointment like smack fucking dab in the middle of when my stream normally would happen. So rather than taking an hour and a half plus long break, I'm just going to do the doctor's appointment and not stream tomorrow. So my next scheduled stream is Saturday. But I would keep an eye out for some kind of late night thing Thursday night because I see that as being very likely. Highly likely even, one could suggest. So keep an eye out for something on Thursday night. Massive thank you to everybody who's supported me over this last week because this month I get to pay out of pocket for insulin because my insurance doesn't cover it until I hit my deductible. So thank you, because this is a lean month for me. As always, if you like the shenanigans that I do here, I have a Patreon. If you have questions about this game, send them to me, because I'm interviewing the developer of Warsim tomorrow morning, which is going to go up on YouTube on Friday, assuming everything goes well. So I will kind of be working tomorrow because I'm going to be editing